Go, 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 go. Good morning, everyone. Sales shakers and valuepreneurs. This is your host, Helga Saraiva Stewart. I'm joining you today with lots of, holiday spirit with Ricardo Garcia for a show that will no doubt leave you very entertained, informed, and inspired. That's what we aim for, right, Ricardo?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Today,
Elga.
good morning. Today we're going to be talking about nailing the niche, the execution, and client connection. And I know we're going to make it fun. Ricardo joined us from Madrid. I think that's where you are, right? And you are in the luxury real estate sector. Tell us a little bit about yourself, but from the point of view of who it is that you serve and what do you do for them?
Okay, so first of all, Elga, again, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be here. Yeah, so I basically help international clients buying and selling real estate in the Iberia space, Spain and Portugal. I'm based in Madrid, but I do a lot of business in Portugal. And so, yeah, basically, my typical client is an international person that lives in the US or in London or elsewhere and wants to buy a property or sell a property in Madrid, in Lisbon, in Porto, in Comporta, in the south of Spain. And I help them navigate that process. So normally, they never did a transaction in this region. And so that's where I enter and I provide my expertise to help them navigate that transaction.
I love that. I love that. And I know that there's a lot more to you than just that, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Tell us something. What does your prospecting look like?
Yeah, so basically my client base came 95% from my sphere of influence, repeat clients, referrals from clients. So I work a lot on my database to make sure that I'm close to my existing clients and that they refer business to me on a regular basis. So I say this and I sometimes there's a lot of information and strategies about marketing and trying to advertise your services. But for me, my best marketing tool is the quality of my service. Every time I provide a good service, every time I deliver a good service to one of my clients, I'm 100% sure that I'll get more clients. And that's what's been working very well for my business. So I have constantly calls from someone that, look, my friend wants to talk about real estate and he wants to buy. I talked about you because you helped me a lot in the past. So that's the type of prospecting that I constantly do, connecting with my existing clients and connecting with people that I know.
And so do you think nowadays, in order to get referrals, I hear so many people talk about how important are referrals within the prospecting cadence. But I'm not sure if all of us are, potentializing it as much as we could, right? Do you think that referrals nowadays is still about being nice or just being available, or there's more to it? How do we do it really well?
So that's a very good, interesting question. So from my point of view, the referrals came because someone had an experience with you and your service that's really stuck with their mind, and then they want to, they trust you so much that you refer to someone that they care, and that's everything about what I do. If I really like this sentence, which is, people never forget the way you make them feel. And for me, this is the key point. So every time I'm with a client, I make sure that, one, I'm adding value, and two, that they have a pleasant experience, and that will give me business back. And for the last 2 years that I'm working on my own, uh, again, I get so many. It's like 95% of my business. Someone that work with me and that is comfortable enough to refer me to a friend or a family member or anything. So yes, going to your question, I think it's not being nice at all. Being nice is just has to be there. because you are working with someone, and it's better if you are nice. But then the value that you really add, how well prepared you are, and that you know your market, that you make your client feel that you are in control of the whole transaction.
Wow. And I love that you talk. So you are one of the very few people I know who navigate beautifully between the world of emotions, reason, value, and marketing and sales. And I love all that.
Mhm.
How do you know, due to the nature of what you sell, your buyers are always very emotional, which is something that we often forget in the world of B2B, is that our buyers are essentially, at an emotional state, right?
Yeah,
And then we're just focusing talking about products and services and features. And how do you handle emotions and even, dare I say, control emotions,
yeah,
not just your own, but others,
yeah,
in order to develop this trust and
yeah.
gain this confidence?
Yeah, that's very. So I'm a very emotional person, and it starts with controlling my own emotions. Okay, and I've been developing my own skills to make sure that those emotions are controlled during the transaction process, so my clients feel that I'm in control. Okay, because during a real estate transaction, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen. I can give you tons of examples. Like, for example, I'm now negotiating a house, and the seller is very ill, so it's very difficult to navigate that, and you have to make sure that the buyer is informed, that you are giving all the information, be patient, and make sure that things progress. And so, first, control my own emotions, and secondly, inform your clients as much as you can. Sometimes not inform too much, because that can give stress, but just be on a balance type of mood, that you are always made them feel that everything is going to be okay, because in the end everything is going to be okay. And that's also very important for my business, is the controlling the execution process in a way that the end feel that, okay, Ricardo will take care of that. Okay, and that's very important for my business. So that's on the transaction side. Then on the relationship side is who I am. So you cannot control who you are, and I don't control my emotions in the relationship that I have with my clients. I'm a very so I like to spend a lot of time with my clients. I like to express what I feel. I like to share my personal information with them, so they know that I'm married, that I have a son, that I have a dog, what I like to eat. So I don't hide that at all, because I don't think that that makes people connect. What makes people connecting is that openness about who you are. And so for me, it works very well that I build the trust that I have with my clients by sharing my own personal stuff, my emotions, and who I am. It's very, very, very frequent that my clients became my friends, and I'm very pleased for that. I'm very happy, and that is really part of the success of my business. Is my clients became my friends.
And so how does marketing kind of catapult this? How does it kind of take you to the next level? So you're talking to me about trust, authenticity, being genuine, being emotional, at the same time learning to control one's feelings and understand, having the emotional intelligence to understand others' feelings and emotions. So how do you then bring marketing into this equation?
So again, my type of marketing strategy is basically very personalized. I don't advertise as much on the online tools, or any type of mainstream type of marketing. So I have my own channels. My own channels are
So, folks, I think that we have just lost Ricardo. Ricardo will no doubt join us again. I think he's still here and I can see him. Here we go. Let's bring him back on.
I'm here. I'm here.
Everything's okay. Yeah, perfect.
So I was
We were
saying,
just talking about channels and then something happened. I wasn't sure whether it was your internet or my internet, but there we go. We are back live. This is show
right.
business, guys.
So I was talking about my marketing strategy.
Yes.
It's basically very personalized. So I try to be innovative, but I also communicate in the way that I believe it's important in my niche. So I last year, on my first year of activity on my own, I launched a magazine, the Book of RG, which is basically stories that I know and that I've been discovering during the year about
Oh,
places.
show us again, please. That book looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. So there's stories.
So it's basically people that I really admire, people that I personally know, places that I have gone to eat, cities that I discovered during the year, and then you have also a portfolio of houses. So again, this is an annual magazine that is 100% investment from my point of view. There is no advertising. There is no. It's not a marketplace. It's basically the way I want to communicate with my clients. I send them. I try to more than 90% of the times to deliver the magazine face to face. So when I meet my clients, I give them the magazine. And also I was explaining that I have a weekly newsletter where I communicate with my clients. But again, that database where the newsletter is sent to is very, very, very small audience. It's not for everyone. It's not that I have thousands of contacts in my database. I have my clients and a few more prospect clients, and that's it. And my newsletter sometimes is not even showing houses. It's just telling a personal story of mine that this year I start exercising to be fit again, or that I discovered this city, or that I completed this transaction. I had this difficulty. So it's something very, very personal and personalized. So my clients understand what I'm all about.
Do you know? You keep reminding me of why I love how you do this so much because I just can't imagine AI replicating that.
Yeah. Yes. Very interesting, Elk. I don't know. I saw a podcast a couple of weeks ago, the Diary of a CEO,
Uh-huh.
and the host was interviewing. I don't remember the name, but he was saying. So the question was asked. So if it was today, what would you invest on? And they said everything AI and everything completely the opposite to AI, the human, the personal relationship. And that's why really I believe. So I believe that my business, it's this part, is a part that no tool, no computer, no AI will replace at all. And I see it as a community that will not grow very fast, but will grow in a way that one day we're all together in the Christmas dinner, enjoying because we've been built this trust and this relationship that has been lasting for a while. And that's all my business is all about.
Wow. And, you know, let me remind the folks joining us that, you know, you do manage and handle very large sums of money. I mean, this is your circle of influence and buyers and sellers are high net worth individuals, ultra high net worth individuals. So, you know, we're not talking pennies here. And I know that you have a particular relationship with the word luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that's very interesting. There is a lot of noise in the market, in the real estate market, about luxury real estate. Okay, and luxury real estate is very interesting because, in fact, the majority of time you are selling and buying properties that are luxury properties. They are the high end. They are really well done properties with the highest standards of materials and craftsmanship and everything. But for me, I'm in the the luxury of services market. So the biggest luxury on my business is the service that I provide. The properties can be higher, lower, can be high end, can be a small apartment. It doesn't matter. The service that I provide is the real luxury that I identify in the market. Is the way my availability, how well I'm informed about the market, how well I manage the transactions, which sometimes has a lot of emotions, has a lot of pros and cons, and you have to manage all of it to make sure that the deal happens. And the clients really appreciate that. And going back to your question, I didn't answer properly. I have two types of clients. I have the clients, because normally real estate, you are either fulfilling a pleasure thing or a pain thing, because you got divorced, because your family is growing, so you have to act fast because you need a bigger house or need two houses or whatever, or because you have enough money to have a second home, a beach home, and that is a more emotional transaction. And so for this type of these two type of transactions, if it's a more informed one, more investor type, they just need data and then make sure that I'm providing the best deal possible. For the emotional part, type of clients, it's completely different, because they can go to a house and sometimes it's even over their budget, but they feel they can buy, and they just make a move and they buy a property. Okay, so these two types of clients also have two different types of attitudes when I'm dealing with them. Okay, and so yeah, so and I have a funny story. I was telling you offline before we joined. So for example, Starbucks is not a luxury brand, but every time you go to a Starbucks, or every time I go to Starbucks in Madrid here, the person that is there, she said, "Good morning, Ricardo," and that makes me feel very welcoming. I went there last week, and I have been away for almost 2 months, and she said, "Ricardo, I haven't seen you for a while." That's amazing, because you just feel like, look, they are really taking care of their clients. They are really taking care. They really pay attention to what they are doing, and not just because they are serving coffee. No, coffee is part of it, but the experience that you feel when you're entering a store is really important. So yeah, all this together is basically what I'm all about.
Wow. I'm hearing you, and I go back in my mind thinking, oh my gosh, am I doing this? Am I doing this? Am I doing this? Because there's really no excuse to not provide that kind of service. It doesn't even have to necessarily cost money
No.
to make the other person, to help the other person feel like they're valued, right? And just on this kind of frame of conversation when it comes to like customer experiences, share with us some really great stories about customer experiences, maybe where you've gone above and beyond, maybe where the customer was a little bit loopy, maybe, something funny, something crazy, something odd.
So I have, first I want to share that something that I do about customer experience. So I often do, and when I say often, is almost every week on a Friday. I go to Bairro Salamanca, which is basically center of luxury real estate, if you want to call it, but also luxury brands and luxury everything. And I often spend 3-4 hours walking on the streets, entering different stores, and experience the way they treat me. I do that very often because I feel that's very important for my job. And sometimes, so my wife sometimes, where are you going? I'm going to Salamanca, and I spend there. I have lunch in different places. I speak to different people. I enter luxury stores, and I see how much time they take to say hello and to ask me if they may help me. and all that helps me improve my customer experience service. Because, and again, it's very important when you go to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, for example, you go to Je ne sais quoi in Lisbon, which is mainly the main luxury restaurant brand, and you see that how many employees they have. They have too many, but they are not too many. They just want to make sure that their clients, because their expectations are here and they still want to be surprised because they have everything, they want to make sure that they don't wait too much time, that when they ask, someone will be there and someone is taking care of their needs, not needs, but their pleasure. Okay. And so that's very important. So I can give you an example, a recent example. So I do this very often because I'm based in Madrid. I had a client recently that had an issue with the property manager, and I flew from Madrid, no transaction related, just to be with them, just to spend the day with them, having lunch with them, to make sure that they find a new property manager. I found a new property manager for them, and to be with them and give my face to see, look, I know that we've been through a painful situation here, but we're gonna overcome this. We have a new person, and they really appreciate, and they gave me amazing. Why do you come here just for this? And because it's important for you that you feel and you are a different country, that you don't know anyone, and someone that is Portuguese, that speaks the language, that will be here with you, that makes sure that you have a better experience every time you come to Portugal.
So here's what I'm thinking now. I can understand why it is that you get referenced, right? Because people have felt so safe, and the level of professionalism, the service felt like luxury. The experience was seamless. Everything worked to perfection. I think people empirically understand that the world is not perfect, and and they don't expect things to be perfect. But I think our expectation is that the person that we're talking with, the seller, so to speak, are is going to be able to help us to overcome those obstacles, right? But do you have any advice? And this might be a little bit different from you, but I would love to know how your head's thinking in this space, which is talking to someone. Let's just imagine that you were talking with a potential client, and you just met them in one of your wandering walks in the Barrio Salamanca. And it's a potential client, and they've never heard of you. They have never heard of you. And you are in the business that could be commoditized. In many ways, it is commoditized, right? Not right at the top.
Yes.
It can be commoditized. And so do you have a way of approaching a conversation with someone like that, where that can, that's peppered with ways in which the person cannot see you as a commodity? Like, how would you talk so that the person doesn't see you as another one, as one more person in real estate? Do you have a way?
Yes, that's an amazing question. So I not first speak about what you do without speaking without what you do. So I like that. That's number one. So I never start a conversation or talk to someone saying that I sell real estate. Never. I talk about the beautiful buildings. I talk about the amazing restaurant that I've been last week. I talk about so many different things that at the end, so what they will ask me, what do you do? And I said, look, I help international clients buying and sell real estate in Spain and Portugal. Ah, really? Yeah,
so give us an example. Give us an actual example, like how you would talk about a building, and it could be anything you like. We don't even have to understand.
Look, again, going back to emotions, this is an emotion and experience thing. I talk about my personal life. I talk that I lived in New York, in Dublin, in London, in Miami, in Portugal. I talk about football. I'm informed about cultural things. I talk about how great my experience was while visiting Mallorca this summer. So it's basically talking about everything, but exactly what you want to sell at the end. I don't even like that word, to be honest, because I I I I don't like the word sell. I like the thing about adding value. So I help people, and I learned that from my parents. So it's not that I want them to buy whatever it's on the market. I want to help them make an informed decision, and they're eventually going to spend time having dinner in their place when they arrive. You see, so I'm not pushy at all, and I don't like. No one likes pushy. Like we're talking about the telecom people that call us all the time. They are doing their job. It's fine, but again, the way I approach my business is basically being an interesting person that people want to deal with. Okay, and not interested in any. It's just, look, really want to work with this guy. That's what I try to pass to everyone that connects with me. Okay, it's basically, okay, this guy has been all over the world. This guy has relocated a lot of times, so he understands what we've been through. He understands his business. He knows about different markets. He sold properties in Miami. He sold properties in Lisbon and Madrid. He lived in London for 8 years. So I
Yeah.
understand the British culture and the British humor. So all this connected makes that the conversations that I have are interesting. But more importantly, even is listening more than talking. I just want my people that I meet to talk about themselves, because that will give me so much information, so valuable information about. I don't know, you have this experience, but it's very frequent that you want to buy something and you end up buying something else.
Yes.
And
Well,
with my clients in particular, when they so I had clients that I had this idea of buying a building and refurbishing everything,
and then they buy something completely
and in
different.
my head I'm already mapping things out and say, this guy is going to buy a very simple apartment in the city center because he comes here 3 times a year. He's going to enjoy the nice restaurants, and that's it. And I'm mapping out,
Yeah.
because understanding the client, understanding where do they live in their home country,
Oh my
what
gosh.
commute do they do, what do we enjoy. So I'm working with some clients now from Portugal.
Oh, do you know, I've got, do you know, I can't believe our time is up. I can't believe,
Sorry, I talk a lot.
this is, y'all, please connect with Ricardo, right? On LinkedIn, Ricardo is amazing. You've only got but a taste of the wonderful human being that Ricardo is. We are going to see you live next episode. We're wishing you, shall we wish them together, Ricardo? A wonderful, wonderful holidays. How do we
Thank you
say
very
that?
much again. Thank you very
No,
much.
my pleasure. Our pleasure. How do we say this in Spanish? Do you know? Happy holidays to everyone.
Yeah, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz. Feliz Navidad. You all come join us again soon. I've been your host, Helga Saraiva Stewart. Loving you throughout this time at holidays and looking forward to seeing you soon. And you too, Ricardo. Thank you so much for being an amazing guest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheerio, everyone. Bye for now.
Continuamos.